We are officially live. It's another Thursday, you guys. When you hear that intro music, you know what time it is. You are officially in the locker room, and it's about to go down because we got a hell of a show for you guys tonight. I've got an amazing guest to introduce you to, but first, I got to bring in my boy that holds me down every Thursday in the locker room show. My boy on the other side of the corner making plays, and that's none other than Q, the Guru. What's going on, Q?
Man, I'm feeling great. We got a hot show, and here it go a little something like this.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeed. So, hey, if you're joining us for the first time, and the reason why this gentleman is so happy, because the guy that we have in the locker room tonight is from his hometown. So they got blood, they got stories, they got a lot to share with you. But we got an amazing show for you guys tonight, you guys. If you're joining us for the first time, the Locker Room Show is where we bring in the best of the best in the football industry, the people that are in the trenches, the people that aren't just armchair quarterbacks. They know what they're talking about, and they want to help you succeed. So we got a great night tonight, and our guest is none other than the great Coach Bobby Cole out of Hazelwood East, and they're doing big things. This guy's an alumni from that school, and he's joining us here tonight to lay it down. How's it going, Coach?
Man, everything is wonderful. I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
Definitely. We had to get you in. Q's been saying we got to get Coach Cole in. So this was just this is a formality. We're going to make it happen tonight. I see some people already joining us. Kylie Summers says, what's going on, my brothers? I see Wise King saying big bro. So we appreciate you guys coming in, and we're going to give it to you tonight. So let's get into it. I mean, we got so much to talk about. And if you're joining us for the first time, once again, we bring in the best of the best. Coach Bobby Cole is laying down a foundation at Hazelwood East. This is a foundation that he's bringing back. This is a school, you guys, that has a track record of producing big-time talent, winning championships, and got away from it for a little while, but Coach Cole is here to bring it back. Check out this article. Hazelwood East celebrates NFL draft success. A few years ago, Max Preps said that Hazelwood East, you guys, was in the top 23 as far as producing NFL talent. So big-time program. And I want to ask you, Coach, because very few of us get to go back to our alma mater, you know, and obviously people in the neighborhood want to see you do well. But did you feel like that was added pressure when you took the job?
I did, and it was all pretty surreal when it happened. Before I got the job at East, I was over at Luther North with Coach Carl Reed and the gang, and we had a great time over there. We were fortunate to win a state championship in 2019, but shortly after we won that championship, everybody on that staff pretty much got an opportunity to elevate in the game. And I was part of that, you know, and got the call from the athletic director at the time, interested in me coming over and coaching. And I mean, I jumped at the opportunity, you know.
Definitely. And obviously you're already making moves, and people are the community's getting behind you. What's the difference from being a player there and now being a coach? Is it harder, do you feel like, to get the kids to buy in, or do you feel like it's the same thing?
Well, for me, first of all, the standard is always going to be the standard. I grew up around Hazelwood East football royalty. I grew up in the neighborhood with these guys. As a young kid, I saw them coming home after big wins with their jerseys on and their pants still on, hanging out of cars and celebrating big wins. And it was something to look up to, something to look forward to. Me and my group of friends, including Quincy's brother, Matt, I mean, ever since we were in the 4th, 5th, 6th grade, we knew that we were going to play Hazelwood East football at some point. There was no question about it. But nowadays, trying to get the kids to buy back into that culture has been challenging, but it's working for us. Again, for me, the standard is the standard. It was one way for me to play, and there's only one way for me to coach. So kind of have to get our hands dirty and, you know, really get hands-on with the kids and get them to understand where it is that they're playing at, the colors that they're wearing, and the men that played here before they did, you know. Nowadays, it's all about certain programs in our area are doing very well right now. So a lot of kids feel like if you're not playing for one of those programs, then you're insignificant. But I'm here trying to prove it different.
I love it, Coach. I love it. And one of the topics we definitely want to bring up, and I see some people coming in here. I think this is Pops saying, proud of my son for sure. We appreciate your Pops coming in. We got the great Munoz family coming out and says, greetings from the Munoz family in Naples. They must be on the road. Okay. FBU Top Gun. I know Marco's doing this thing. So we appreciate you going in. And of course, the great Jimmy Rush.
Big Jimmy.
Pressure busts pipes and creates diamonds, and that's what Hazelwood East has in Coach Cole. So, I wanted to ask you, Coach, and this was something that Q and I usually talk about, the private versus public school deal. When you guys were coming up, all the dogs right in your community went straight to Hazelwood East or Central or East St. Louis. Now they're poaching kids, and I'm sure you're dealing with this. And I just wanted to ask you, if I'm a parent sitting here watching this show, is it okay for me to send my kid to Coach Cole? Or am I losing too much sending my kid to a public school? What's your feeling on that debate, Coach?
Well, first of all, I had the opportunity to coach on both sides of the fence. When I was at Luther North, it's a private institution.
Right.
And now being at Hazelwood East, I'm able to see the game from both sides now. And my thing is this, it's no different from college. Are you going to go to whatever school says school, and are you going to be able to play and produce right away? Or, are you going to have to sit behind a bunch of guys that are established, sophomore starters? You're going to have to sit behind them 3 years or so. It's all about the best fit for that particular player, because there are obviously several private schools that are doing very well in our area, but there are also several public schools that are doing very well in our area. I think it's just a matter of building your program, and ultimately what's going to matter is the wins,
Definitely. Q, talk to me a little bit. Obviously, this is something we talk about. It's going on in California, where I'm from. A lot of kids getting poached from the public schools. Do you think that the public schools should be playing the private schools? Should this be separate? Does it depend state to state? What's your feeling on the conversation?
I mean, I can agree with Coach. It's still gonna be what's the best fit for the player. I think, and I'm always gonna be biased to public school. Reason being is because, as you said before, T, it's about the community. That's what makes the Hazelwood East. That's what makes the North Shore down here in Houston. That's what makes the Odessa Permians. It's about the community. You don't get there from a private school, because it is about recruiting. That's primarily what it's about. And granted, it's something where you get to jump on college and how that's gonna feel, but you don't get that community. And that's the thing about it that I love about public schools. But you have to have, in this day and time, the right coach to be able to be in that public school environment, because you know what you up against because of what you just see.
Well, for us at East, a big part of building back our success was me bridging the gap with the old and the new. I'm in a unique position where I am, because I'm able to bridge the gap amongst alumni. I grew up with people like Quincy, up underneath people like Quincy and those elder Hazelwood, these guys that were, big time ball players and really built that program to what it is. And then I'm also still close enough to those kids that graduated in 2007, 8, 9, 10. And so, so I'm able to bridge the gap between alumni. I'm in a really, really nice place as far as our class is concerned. And one thing, for example, this year that we did at homecoming, we retired 3 big-time Hazelwood East football players' jersey, and we brought out alumni by the droves. And our administration, our principals, our students, they never seen the place packed like that. You guys just showed a picture of me, talking to my team before a game, and you probably see 4 or 5 people in the stands. That picture there, there's only a couple people there. Although that game was rainy, there's only a couple people there. Compared to our homecoming game this year, man, it wasn't a seat empty in the house on that side of the field. So it was definitely a great day for Hazelwood East and our resurgence as we get back onto the scene. And we just, we plan on building upon that year after year. And then again, also, I got to say it, the wins is what's going to really help us get there. We got to win. Ultimately, we got to win. So everything I do is in preparation for season play, playoff play. You know, we got to win these games and get these kids to want to stay home at Hazelwood East.
Yeah.
Do you feel, Coach? I mean, obviously, you played there. You guys were winning. Quincy played there, went to a big-time program. Do you feel like the kids at your school still, if they do their thing on the field, can get to that next level?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have a couple in our program right now. Like I say, the battle is trying to get them to understand that really, regardless of where you are, if you have the talent, they're going to come find you. That's why these guys make the big bucks. You know, you could be going to not even Hazelwood East. You can be going to any school. You can be going to a school that's, you know, historically not been very good. But if you got that talent, they're going to come find you. And if you're talking Division I football, if you got those measurables, you know, that size, that speed, those grades, oh yeah, they're going to come find you wherever you are. So it really doesn't matter where you play as far as that's concerned. If you're talking about colleges and scholarships and things, a lot of kids think that you have to be at this school or that to get offers and all of these kind of things, where it's really not the case. Some schools do get a little more attention because they have relationships between those coaches built and the type of kids that they've brought out in the past year. So yeah, they have a bit of a relationship. So when they come to St. Louis, they tend to go to those schools first, where they know the talent is stockpiled. But then also, I mean, they hit every school. You know, they come to see every school. And again, if you got the talent, if you got those measurables, then they're going to come get you.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And maybe not all areas are created equal. This gentleman is in an area where they've produced at that school before. So those colleges are going to stop by, but not all public schools are created equal. So you guys, weigh out your own situation. We're on to our next topic, you guys. And this one is a big one. This is something that kind of rears its head back in football, then peaks back down. But this was interesting to me because I had never seen a female athlete, professional Australian rules football player, female pro football player. This is rugby out there in Australia, passed away, and you can't test for CTE until somebody passes away. And they did test her and they found CTE. And this is something that is ongoing with football conversation. Here's an article right here. CTE concussion dangers mostly dismissed by elite high school football players. Here's some stats right here where they're saying not as much risk at the high school level, but 3 times more risk if you get to the NFL. So a huge topic. And obviously we're all, we're parents and we want to keep our kids safe. Is this a topic, Q, that you think will diminish as rules change in football, or do you think it's going to continue to be a big issue?
I mean, everything evolves, right? I mean, equipment has evolved so much, T, since you and I, our careers, have ended, but it's still football. In this case, I believe, with the young lady, we're talking about rugby, who in some cases is an even more brutal sport than football if you ever have an opportunity to watch it. Rugby and hockey get violent. So, but it's always going to be that possibility because it's a high speed, full contact sport, So in some ways, that's just always going to come with the territory. Unfortunately, we always want, improve, like I said, improved technology, improved equipment, and an improved protocol with evaluating, those type of head injuries. But at the end of the day, man, it's football.
And let me ask you this, Q. Is it something, because now our days are over, of hitting guys in the flat and cover 2, our days are over. But is it something as a former player, man, that you ever think about? Do you ever think, forget, something at the house and say, is it CTE, or do you just chalk it up?
I mean, it's something that you think, you do think about. I mean, T, you remember, I don't even know, you remember, back in the Gap, our first game of the year, we were up in Green Bay, and remember, Junior Seau did the coin toss. And I remember that. And it was just like that, and he was gone. So it's like that for me, that made it a reality for me, when that happened. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things where it's sometimes it's really, really hard to avoid. It's hard to avoid.
Talk to me, Coach. Is this something that comes up with some of the kids and parents at your level? Or are they pretty much ready to go and you don't really hear too much about it?
Well, no, I heard about it during my time coaching youth football. There were several kids that I missed out on or didn't get to play the game because their parents were so afraid of head injuries and stuff like that. In which case I would try to, encourage them to play that, we coach tackling correctly and all of these kind of things. Because, when we were playing, we were taught, get your face across the ball, get your face across his body, try to pop that ball out with your mask or with your helmet, wrap up and drive. Where now they take more of the rugby approach or the Seahawk tackling. We Spartan, so we don't say hawk tackling at all. We say Spartan roll, Spartan tackling. So let's get clear. But no, seriously, we just last week before we went on break, we had a rugby coach come out from I believe Columbia, Missouri, and go through drills with us and clinic with us on tackling with our kids. And the techniques that he taught were techniques that we have been teaching for the past couple years, but he got more detailed and into depth with it. And there are techniques that I really like. And for smaller corners or players that are just a little less physical than others, it's a great way to learn how to tackle using those techniques. So everything we do is we want to keep the game safe as well. We just bought a bunch of new helmets, the Axiom helmets. So we're all about trying to keep it safe. And initially I didn't really like the changes in tackling. The first couple of years I did not teach profile tackling or Spartan rolling. But as the seasons went on, I saw the value in it and began to coach it. So I've been coaching it now for, about 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, that's
fabulous.
Good.
Fabulous. And there's a perfect example, you guys. There's some schools taking it a little bit more serious. Some coaches take it a little bit more serious than other. And then obviously you guys see the rules at the higher level where a kid in college can get kicked out. NFL guys get fined. They're trying to keep you off the quarterback. So you guys hopefully will have a lot less CTE issues moving forward. We are on to our next topic, and I see some of our faves popping in. My actual mother-in-law said, checking in from Denver. I see your mama. And then Mama Cindy said, hello from the Colorado Buffaloes. We got our Colorado crew. They're always coming in and holding us down. So we appreciate you guys. We're on to our next topic, you guys. And this one is where to spend the school money. Where to spend the school money. And this is a good person to talk to because he's got to make those type of decisions. But the University of Florida, you guys know we're in the arms race. We're in an arms race, and I heard there was a little bit of a recession going on, but maybe that's not in college football. So Florida giving the Swamp, you guys, which is maybe a little overdue. The Swamp's old school, but giving the Swamp a $400 million, not a 40, a $400 million makeover. That's going to be a beautiful stadium. But obviously, you guys, this is like the pros. So this isn't. They got the cream of the crop facilities, as you see here, and they want to spruce up the stadium now. So we're in an arms race, you guys, and I want to ask you. We'll start with you, Q. You went to the University of Kansas. I don't know exactly what it was that made you say yes, but facilities is huge for these kids today. If you were the athletic director at Kansas today, and you had to put some money between these three areas, facilities, NIL resources, and coaching contracts to make sure that your Kansas Jayhawks stay at the top of the pack, where are you going 1, 2, 3? Number one first.
I'm going to go number one with the coaches. I'm going coaches, facilities, and NIL resources. Reason being is because kids, the dogs follow the coaches. Like you could take Coach Saban right now, and you can take him from Alabama and put him at University of Wyoming, and you give him enough time, you're going to get the same results. I promise you. It doesn't matter where, like, kids follow the great coaches. Period. Because they know that, the school, but the relationship with this coach, and I'm a dog, I'm trying to get to the league, this coach can do that. All I got to do is show up and ball. So definitely coaches, facilities, as you said, obviously you go out to Oregon, that's the Nike Mecca. That, I mean, it's hard to walk away from that. It's very, very difficult. And then as far as NIL, I have that at the bottom of the list. Reason being is because, again, if you're already out there balling, people are going to contact you in regards to that. So that's not really as important, but you got to have that top-notch coaches and you got to have the facilities. You know, even as far as my alma mater, that's why we turned around from Coach Mangino in with such success and fell off because we couldn't find that coach. Now we back ranked because we find it. So the coach is everything, but you got to have the facilities to back it up too.
Okay. Talk to me, Coach Cole. I mean, you guys are obviously right in the midst, as I'm showing here, of getting the tractors out at Hazelwood East and making moves, and that's going to attract some talent over there. Talk to me. How do you feel? If you the head man at Florida, where are you spending those dollars? Are you going facilities, NIL, coaches, or another direction?
I would go facilities first. To play devil's advocate a little bit with Quincy, he's absolutely right that the guys are going to follow the coaches. But I think you need those facilities to catch those coaches and those players' eyes. You know, you get a coach and you're in the hiring process and you get a coach to come to your facility and, you know, it's the bottom of the barrel, then it'd probably be a little hard to keep that coach unless you're offering them big-time money.
That's true.
But, having those facilities in order and you bring that coach in, I think he's more likely to stick around. And then I would go with the coaches after that because, like you said, the guys are going to follow those coaches, you know. The same coaches for the past, 10, 15, 20 years have been making noise at whatever school they've gone to. You know what I mean? And those guys are going to follow because they're good at what they do. And then after that, I would go with the NIL stuff. I like the NIL deals for the kids, but I do think it's a very slippery slope and that we have to be careful in how we deal with and treat the NIL deals because it can quickly become – college football will quickly become a professional sport if we're not careful. You know what I mean? And all of the transfers and the things that are going on behind it. It's a part of the game. I'm not in favor of it, but, you know, it's a part of the game, and I understand why kids and parents make the decisions that they make. I just think it's up to those coaches and those programs to keep those kids in-house, whether, you know, NIL deals or not. I mean, you want to play football, you want to win, or, you know, do you want to, you know, make the money and not play and then, you know what I mean? Because, it's just a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
It is. Yeah.
No, that's a great point right there, Coach.
Agreed on that.
Definitely. Case by case scenario, Jimmy says Florida facilities, Kansas coaches. That's a good point. You know, it's what does my program need? And an athletic director needs to be keen on that because I come from Colorado and it was Coach, it was Dion, you know, and everything else.
You know, facilities, right? So
we had facilities and we were struggling, and then you know, and then it flips it. So I like that right there, Jimmy. Depends on the situation. We got Samaj Flowers saying, "What's up, Coach Bobby?"
What's up, Samaj?
And then we got Cap God saying, "What's up, Coach Bobby?"
What's up?
So all the kids is coming in, and you guys, you're doing what you should be doing. Hold it down for Coach, and we appreciate that. So we're on to, and that was some good feedback right there on the dilemma that these schools have to deal with right now. So we're on to our next topic, you guys, and this one definitely being on the West Coast caught my attention. There is so much change in college football, and that is not stopping with the conferences. There's teams jumping ship, and San Diego State says we're going to stay home. They were about to go to the Pac-12, and it was going to cost them some money, so maybe that had something to do with it. But the Aztecs said they have decided to stay home. And I wanted to run this by you guys, and I'll start with you, Coach Bobby. Does this spell disaster for the Pac-12? I mean, Colorado may be going back to the Big 12. We got SC, UCLA leaving. If I'm the AD of the Pac-12, do I even have a conference, in your opinion, in 5 years?
Well, with USC, it was USC and UCLA that left, right?
Yeah, next year.
Those are obviously two staples.
That's the anchor of the whole conference.
Yeah, that's the anchor of the ship. You know what I mean? So for me, in my opinion, I think the Pac-10 or the Pac-12 would, you know, follow suit in kind of what happened with the Big 10 or the Big 12. You know what I mean? When those schools left the Big 12 and kind of left that conference high and dry, I think ultimately you will have just a handful of top-tier conferences when it's all said and done. I think we're going to continue to consolidate because guys are looking to play against their top competition, and you can't blame them. You know what I mean? So what does it spell for the Pac-12? I can't really say. What I can say is I do see it going the way of the Big 12, and when those schools decided to leave the Big 12 for the SEC, definitely a spell trouble for the conference.
Talk to me a little bit, Q. I mean, we're far away, dude, from the Pete Carroll dominant days, and the Pac-12 holding it down. Yeah. Do you think, 5-10 years we still got a Pac-12?
I don't think so, man. I think, man, look, the guru says this, man, the Pac-12 gonna fold up like your mama's lawn chair, man. Because here's the deal. Here's the deal, right? Because like we just said, if SC and UCLA are the anchors, only one is left of any notable status in that conference is really Oregon, which will probably end up leaving as well. Now, I know you had mentioned the Big 12. The Big 12 never really fell off. Think about it. Mizzou, they left the Big 12 struggling. Y'all left struggling. Probably should have stayed. Nebraska left struggling. So y'all probably should have stayed in the first place. But these athletic directors, going back to the previous subject matter, they saw that SEC money and the athletic directors got greedy because they saw those SEC checks and that they wanted that SEC network when they probably should have stayed in the Big 12 in the first place.
Let me throw this sidebar in real quick. I'm sorry, Q.
No,
with Mizzou in particular going to the SEC. I think, in my opinion, it's helping the state of Missouri with football because a lot of us from the state complain about, being so far behind the game compared to a Florida or a Texas or a California as far as the game is concerned. Like Mizzou being the only state in the SEC that does not have spring football, whereas this past season we were allotted time for spring football. You know what I mean? Right. And I believe that comes from the fact that Mizzou is in the SEC. And now we have a leg to stand on with preseason. with spring practices, because a lot of recruiting goes on spring practice. A lot of those coaches get out and look at those guys during the spring. You know what I mean? So I think it helped the state, maybe not necessarily Mizzou, as far as wins and losses are concerned, but the state as a whole benefited from them going to the SEC in that way, and I hope in other ways as well going forward.
True, but the thing is, legislature really could have had it that way anyway. It should have always been that way anyway. So again, when I'm looking at it as a player, we talk about this, forever and a day. How do you get the dogs to stay home? Well, we still don't.
Everybody's leaving California.
Everybody leaving California, but it's always been an issue with Mizzou. We've always had a ton of talent, but they don't stay home. And it really started being apparent after Coach Pinkel left, and we went to the SEC because now Mizzou went from those Corby Jones days of being in the running and being a top tier team. Now you're at the bottom of the barrel in the SEC. Well, that's the thing. If I'm a 4 or 5 star kid, I want to go somewhere that wins.
Yeah.
And that's what's hurting Mizzou. Had you stayed in the Big 12 and still been super competitive, you would have been fighting for a Big 12 championship every single year. Now you get more 4 and 5 star kids to stay home. So that's the thing about it. But a lot of this goes down to how these athletic directors are really handling it, and some of it is just flat out greed. But it has go ahead.
These athletic directors have to be business savvy nowadays. You got to bring in a forward-thinking athletic director and coach, because you'll mess around, lose your whole conference. You ain't thinking right nowadays.
You will. Now I tell you what, Colorado. If it were to happen, you mark my word. Today's date. If Colorado moves back to the Big 12 and watch what happens, not saying that y'all not going to be super competitive anyway, but if you were to move back, look how much more successful you be.
Yeah, no, this is big, you guys, and some of you athletes that are looking at schools right now, you thinking you're going to be playing right there at home. A lot of your games on your region, and your school may go to a whole nother conference. So this is something that you guys definitely got to tap into and be aware of as young superstars. We're on to our next topic, you guys, and this is audience favorite of the Locker Room Show. This is the lightning round. The lightning round, for those that don't know, this is our version, you guys, of word association. Coach Cole, whoever our guest is, and tonight it happens to be Coach Cole, is going to be on the hot seat. And I know he's got some of his young players in here, people that know him. So we got to find out what's on Coach Cole's mind. He's got 60 seconds, y'all, to tell us the first thing that comes to his mind when I ask him a few questions. So I got some either or in here. I got some particular people I want to know about. And I want to know what's the first thing that comes to Coach Cole's mind when I mention people. So he's got 60 seconds. And we're about to get after it. So let me get my stopwatch ready. You ready, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me lay it out for the good people. Now, with the lightning round, he's got 60 seconds, but he does we don't just do this for fun. This is a little competition going on. So his number, he's reaching 15. He's looking to reach 15. If he gets 15, then I got to get Q some money because he's going to take him out to dinner next time he see him if he can reach 15. So, Coach, you got one for tech to let. So you're good with 14. But if you can get 15 or higher, then it's on, okay? So let's get it going. We're going to get the stopwatch ready and see how Coach do. I know he got some of his boys ready. I'm not cheating your Coach. We got him at all zeros right there. And it's the first thing that comes to his mind. All right, Coach. First thing. Number one. And I'm not going to start the clock till I say the first one. Number one. First thing that comes to your mind. Hazelwood East. Go.
Greatness, the best. Best in the state of Missouri.
Ezekiel Elliott.
One of the best running backs to ever grace the field in our area. Also a great 110 high hurdler.
Best barbecue in St. Louis.
Oh, man. Reds. Easy, Reds.
Corn dog or chili dog?
Corn dog.
Stephon Diggs.
Say that again.
Stephon Diggs.
Oh, big time player. Big time player.
Remember the Titans or Friday Night Lights?
Ooh, remember the Titans, man. Denzel. You got to go with Denzel.
Mike Tomlin.
One of the greatest to ever do it. Somebody that I look up to, being a African-American coach, and him doing on the highest level where, they say is, we
cut it short, Coach. Cut it short. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson. We So it's not as easy as it looks, y'all, but we can't. You got to give us one go, Coach, so we can get you to the next level. We got to get you to Coach giving us the full bio. So love it, especially Mike Tomlin, no doubt. So let's revisit these and we'll count them up. We got Hazelwood East 1, Ezekiel Elliott 2, Best Barbecue 3. We got Corn Dog 4, Stephon Diggs 5, Remember the Titans 6, Mike Tomlin 7, and then with the extra for the tech delay 8. I know you didn't hear the Stephon Diggs, and then you went deep on Tomlin. I hit a chord with Tomlin. So great job, Coach. Let's do a couple of revisits on this. So obviously he's at Hazelwood East, and that's his alma mater. So that's the greatest school to him. Ezekiel Elliott, a lot of people didn't know. High hurdler, great high hurdler. Coach said Reds. You going with Reds? It's some good barbecue, huh?
Yeah, yep. Smacking. That's smacking.
The best in town.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Guru, thumbs up.
Yeah, that's smacking. That's smacking. Reds. Definitely.
Okay, the Guru gives his thumbs up. Then he's going with the corn dog over the chili dog. We got Coach on that. He said, remember the Titans. He going with Coach Denzel on that one. And then obviously Coach got a lot of love from Mike Tomlin, who's a Hall of Famer in my opinion. So we appreciate that, Coach. We appreciate you going through the drill with us on there. And then we're on to our last topic, you guys. That is the audience Q&A portion of the show. You guys, we're live. So if you guys are in the audience live and you want to hit the comment section with a question for Coach, please let us know. Q, I don't know, let me know if you got something that you want to ask.
Oh,
Coach
yeah,
Cole.
definitely. I gotta, and this is something I wonder with, with a lot of coaches, especially on the high school level. So my question is, how do you connect with these young athletes aside to how you were coached? Because when you look at all the great coaches that we know, like the Bo Schembechlers and the Lou Holtz and the Bobby Bowdens, and the way that they coached, the way we were coached, by the great Rick Gorzinski, it's you can't coach these kids that way. So how do you find a common ground, like you were saying previously in the show? How do you connect with them? Because if not, this generation will shut down on you. Like our generation wouldn't be like that. We can kind of, fight through it and just understand it is what it is. Coach this hard nose and just move forward. But in a lot of cases, this generation will shut down on you. How do you connect and prevent that?
Well, first of all, I am still that type of old school coach where I'm going to get out there and I'm going to get after it. I'm going to get on kids when they're, when they're wrong, even when they're right, because it's really a mental game. But working in the building with the kids has helped me greatly, because working in the building, you can kind of see what pushes them, what moves them, what they like, what they dislike. You know what I mean? So working in the building and having those 2, 3, 4 kids on your team that are leaders, maybe they're not leaders, but being able to talk to them and communicate with them about how the kids are feeling, how the team is feeling. Talking to parents, talking to teachers about certain kids and their disposition and things like that. It helped me greatly with the kids, because they are different, the game is still the same. And then a lot of times you'll find that kids, they want to be coached hard. You know what I mean? They want to learn. They want to get out there and get better. So, you just have to do what it takes to get them there.
Yeah. Awesome. I think one thing too, that that I learned, and I guess with my mother being in education, being a teacher for so many years back in St. Louis as well, is these coaches and players beginning with your guidance counselor, counselor, and that's a subject matter that we haven't brought up a lot in high school, but your counselor is a huge factor, because they are going to get you a lot of information on classes that you need, and you pretty much you name it. So make sure, players that you're listening, that are listening, and the parents as well, incorporate along with your coach, your guidance counselor as well, because it's going to take a team of people in order to get your kid to where they want to go.
Well,
I'll share you with it.
To your point, Quincy, I was actually talking to Kylie last night about Miss Harris. That was our counselor. Remember?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
She specifically dealt with athletics. She was a counselor. Yep. Like, if I had another counselor when I started school, but once they found out that I was a football player and decent at it, they sent all of my documents, all of my notes, everything over to Miss Harris.
Yep.
We went forward. And like Quincy said, I mean, a lot of times recruiters would come into school and they would go straight to Mrs. Harris' office.
They would.
Because she had all of the information about the kids right there at her fingertips.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So while we have great counselors at our school right now, we don't have that one counselor who's strictly over sports. And that's something that I would like to kind of address within our school and within our program respectfully. But it's something that definitely helped us from the 90s on while, Miss Harris was there. She was pivotal.
Absolutely. I mean, all my mail, like I picked up my mail from Miss Harris' office.
Right, yeah. She had our mail. Yeah.
Oh, but yes.
We go to Miss Harris' office, and some players will have a stack that big. Some of us just have a couple of letters, but we'll put them in
whatever it was. Right.
We'll put them in our back pocket and walk around school all day with that University of Illinois or Mizzou, whoever logo hanging out our back pocket. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. That is helpful. That is definitely helpful. For sure.
Yeah. Coach, this is one actually from your dad, but it's good. What's the importance of alumni returning to partner with Coach Cole How big is it for you to bring in other people that know that history and know that tradition of Hazelwood East?
It's an absolute necessity because they know the program better than anybody, and they can help me express to the kids the importance of the program, the stature of our program, the type of players that come through and wore that jersey. For me, the discipline that I gained and the level of competition that I practice against. I mean, we practice against the best every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We practice against the best every single day. So, I mean, it's pivotal in bringing those guys back and discussing that stuff with our kids. Because, again, a lot of our kids, they can only see a couple, 2, 3, 4 schools in our area that are top dogs. And, they feel like if you're not one of those 3 or 4 schools, then, you're very marginal, which that's not the case. And it takes guys, alumni type of guys, to come back to a program like ours and really lay it all out for the kids. Like, hey, these are the guys, the type of guys that came through these doors. You see those names on the wall. Those are guys who did X, Y, and Z, still hold some of the state records to this day. You know what I mean? Phenomenal athletes.
Yeah. And it's knowing, it's these kids understanding when you see jerseys on the wall and you see this, huge trophy case full of, all these accolades, that these are real dudes. They not just ghosts on the wall. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what drove us, is, as BJ's been saying, the majority of the show, like we were afraid of letting our community down. We were afraid, when you got Terrell Fletchers and those type of dudes, Jason Fletchers and those type of dudes coming back, it was that expectation. So it's about reestablishing that. So like alumni coming back to the program, and like he said, really helping these kids understand who you are playing for, what you are playing for. This isn't just a building off the side of the highway you got to go to and be forced to learn math every day. Like it's way bigger than that.
And also there is a trend in St. Louis. I don't know if it's the same in other cities, but a lot of the public schools in St. Louis have hired alumni coaches to come back and coach those schools.
That's good.
LaShawn, Kirkwood,
Hazelwood
West, Pattonville, all of these big time programs from the 90s and the early 2000s, they all have alumni coaches coaching at their schools. So, I mean, it obviously says a lot about what alumni can bring back to the programs. And all of those programs are doing well right now.
They are.
Yeah.
There's definitely some big time football being played. Most underrated says Coach Bobby. We got Amon coming in saying Coach Bobby. So it's a community. You guys can tell right now tonight that they got their coaches back. Coach loves them, and they're going to do big things this year. So we are so pumped up, Coach, that you came in here. We definitely got to get you back on, but we wish you the best of luck this upcoming season. It's right around the corner, and go Hazelwood East. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
IB.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys. So, hey, there you go. That is Coach Bobby Cole. Hey, it doesn't get better than that, you guys. Man. We bringing in some grassroots, some organic love for you. Somebody that actually put some blood, sweat, and tears on the field, and then now is coming back to serve his community, which I love to death. So, Q, big things coming to your alma mater, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, we going to get it back together. It's all time. It's like, you looking for those Buffs to bounce back like I know they will. So, it's a different feel when you seeing your alma mater doing well, man. Because you put so much of yourself into making the program what it was and what it is and to come. So, yeah, man. Yeah, it'll be fun to see. I definitely got to get home and see some games.
Definitely. And we got the most underrated saying a renaissance. I believe it. Obviously, Coach is doing his thing. Nice combo from Kylie Summers. We appreciate you guys stopping in. If you haven't already, please, we're trying to build this community, you guys, and get YouTube to make sure that as many football players, parents, coaches as possible see our content, see the education, see the love and support. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, tell your friends, tell your teammates, because we want to serve you guys. We're bringing in the best of the best in the football industry. We've had Hall of Famers. We've had NFL agents. We've had coaches like Cole tonight. So this is the spot to be. Every Thursday, if you are a young student athlete, come get your game on. Get ready for this upcoming season. Also, if you didn't know, before you go pro, it's not just the locker room show. We're actually practitioners. We get our hands dirty too, and we serve in the community. All of these athletes you see on the screen are a part of our program. They've come through our program, and we help guys get to the next level. So right now we have a 2024 college football recruiting cohort. This is just for the class of 2024. You're a high school JC football player. You want to get to the next level, then you need to be on our team so we can get you there. And some of the East Hazelwood, the Hazelwood East kids, if you guys need some support, let us know, because we want to team up with Coach Cole and get you to the next level. So we've got our college prospects page coming out soon. We want to get you on there, make sure that your highlights get to all of the recruiters so you can get to the bag. So you guys make sure you check out Before You Go Pro. It's at Before You Go Pro on all the social media channels, and then beforeyougopro.com. And once again, keep coming back to the locker room show, because we're going to bring you the whole industry. We got Pepper coming in, Pop saying job well done. We appreciate you, Pops. And please come back next Thursday for sure. So another one in the books, Q. And anything for the good people before we get out of here?
Man, nothing much.
We got a lot of Hazelwood in the house.
Hey, man, I'm telling about time, man. Woo, man. That felt good, T. That felt good. But definitely, y'all tune in. We're going to keep bringing the sauce. Y'all soak it up. We're going to keep bringing it week after week. Definitely. So appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that button. And we'll see y'all next week, same time.
All right, y'all. So, hey, have an amazing weekend. If you guys are going to camp showcases, get after it. Make sure they know who you are. Get to the front of the line. And then come on back next Thursday, because we're going to have another great guest for you. And we look forward to seeing you there. All right. Have a good one.